My name is Andi Kraft, and I'm here today to talk about my hydroponics system that I built with fellow students Isabel, Graylin, and Anastasia. In a hydroponic system, plants get their nutrients through a water-based solution instead of soil. The water carries the nutrient solution to the roots of the plants, while regular farming uses soil to grow plants, which can take up a lot of horizontal space. A VIG, which is a vertically integrated growing system, can be thin and tall and designed to fit almost anywhere in the least amount of space. With a VIG, you could grow nutritious plants alongside a wall. This is ideal for a city like New York or any other location where the amount of free arable land is scarce. Not only does hydroponic avoid the use of soil, it also does not depend on sunlight or other elements of weather. So, you can use special lamps and other equipment to make the plants grow. Imagine how much less ground would be required to give us important food to eat as compared to traditional farming. As we built a VIG, we still had many challenges. When putting the system together, we found out we couldn't use wooden boards to support the system because of the heavy bins of water. So, we purchased a shelving unit of 4 shelves on metal supports. Each shelf would be a tier of the VIG, supporting a large array of plants. The shelving unit was a very efficient support system and gave the VIG a very professional look. Our tubing system was also highly efficient. The nutrient solution and water mixture flowed from the bucket to the top level of the VIG and then circulated downwards to the rest of the levels until it flowed back to the bucket where it began its journey again. Still, we had problems. Did you know that if the bucket is placed on the same level as the bottom level as the VIG, the whole thing will overflow? Well, me and my group learned this the hard way. The water kept flowing over the brim and splashing on the floor. We were trying to figure out a solution to this problem. We found that when we removed the tubes from the bottom of the level of the VIG, the problem stopped. Unfortunately, this solution also forced us to remove the plants from the bottom bin as well. With a VIG, we were successful in growing plants that were safe to eat. It was amazing to see that you could build a well-functioning VIG by simply using parts from a local hardware store or from scraps you collect in the basement of your building. It was amazing to see that a group of 12-year-olds could figure out how to redesign the system on the spot so that any problems were resolved and the system was sustainable. We think our design would be a great implement into the future designs of VIGs. We have developed support materials that others could use to create a VIG, a manual, guidelines, drawings, and photographs. As I said, a VIG could help provide healthy food in a very limited space. There's no reason why individual homes couldn't install small VIGs for key plants, or that communities could share a VIG. There's no reason why VIGs couldn't be created through communities of all sizes, not just major cities. It's our hope that the VIG will become a standard for communities around the world. It's simple to design and implement. It creates healthy food, and it can do its part to create a sustainable environment. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.
Hi, I'm Clara Litzmann, and today I'm here to talk about bringing the greenhouse farming systems to other environments within our community. I'm also going to talk about a module called the Hydroponic Games. Hydroponics is a type of farming. There are a whole bunch of different hydroponic systems that work better for different plants. You probably don't recognize these systems, right? All of these are in Manhattan School for Children's greenhouse. As you can see, there isn't any soil. So how are the plants getting their nutrients? They're getting their nutrients from the water in each system. Hydroponics is growing plants without using any soil. In Latin, hydroponic means working water. That's just what we learned to do in the Hydroponic Games module. I made the system called the VIG, or a vertically integrated growing system. I made our VIG with 3 other 7th graders, Darren, Charlotte, and Kaylee. This system saves space and is a great way to farm in an urban environment. Also, it makes it so you can grow your healthy food right near you without having to spend a lot of money for food from miles and miles away. It was so much fun to work on and a great learning experience. We learned about pH levels and nutrients. The see-through trays we used were an awesome way to see how the VIG worked. VIGs work by pumping water to the top of the system, and the trays that are on a diagonal, with the help of gravity, pull the water down, watering the plants. We faced a lot of problems while building our VIG. Our main problem was getting water to the top of our 5-tiered system. We thought we were done with our VIG, and we were excited to see it working. But when we turned on the air pump, the water didn't get very far. The water was going halfway up the tube of water. Luckily, we agreed to buy another air pump. Even though the second air pump pushed the water farther up, it didn't get the water all the way to the top. Finally, with our third air pump, the water went all the way to the top, and we built a pretty much successful system besides a few leaks here and there easily fixed by plumber's tape. We can all make the effort to build a VIG. They are so much fun and would be a great addition to our community. Restaurants can put them in windows. Supermarkets can use them to create a fun way for us to pick our own foods. We can even have them in our own homes. Even though they won't be big, they will help the ecosystem. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leah Bickley, and I'm here to share my learnings about what I did in the Hydroponic Games module and how we can bring it to other places outside of the school. In this module, we had a choice of which project we wanted to do. A nutrient film technique, a vine crop, an aquaponics tank, or a vertically integrated growing system. My group chose an aquaponics tank. I worked on this tank with Hannah Friedman and Elizabeth Beal. We can bring our greenhouse farming systems to other environments within our community by making our very own hydroponic systems. I made an aquaponics tank. An aquaponics tank is basically a fish tank that can also produce healthy plants. It's also a great way to pick and eat healthy and yummy snacks. Imagine an ecosystem where fish and lettuce lived harmoniously. Our design of the system was supposed to bring this living ecosystem together. We created our own tabletop aquaponics tank. The materials we needed were fish, a fish tank, a turkey tin, plant holders, plants, rocks and decorations, and cardboard. This design was a 2-story system. The first story was a fish tank for the fish, and the second story had a light that was supposed to simulate the sun so the plants would have a better chance of surviving. Some challenges that we had faced were keeping the plants and fish alive over break. Some of our fish died and some of our plants died because the fish ate the roots off. A success that we had was having healthy plants our second round and having 3 fish that are still alive to this day. When we pitched to our 7th grade math teacher, Corey, and we explained how we could make his classroom a greener place, and we convinced him enough to let him place our system in his classroom. We can all take the time to build a tabletop hydroponics tank and help make the world a healthier and greener place.
Hi, my name is Gabby, and I'm in the 7th grade. My partners, Sophie, Lucas, and Freddie, were able to come up with a vine crop system in our Hydroponic Games module. A vine crop system is a greenhouse-friendly way of growing vine crops without soil. And vine crops are fruits and vegetables that grow on vines, like grapes, peppers, cucumbers, and tomatoes. But to get these delicious foods, our group and I had to create our own vine crop system. We based our vine crop system off of the one in our school's greenhouse. And it was a simple structure, using paper clips, bottles, and string. So what we did is that we cut off the first half of the bottle, and then we placed the plant in the middle. And then we noticed there was space underneath it, and that's where we stored our water. And we found a way to connect our water tube to the space where the water was, and then connect it over to the top of the plant that was supported by string. With that, we were able to reuse our water, and that was a really good thing, because our group knew that water is a finite resource, meaning that we can never get it back. And so, before we even came up with the water thing, we changed our system more than 6 times, because we didn't know if it had all the components a vine crop system needed. So, after our 6th change, we came up with the almost perfect system, with the pros of saving water and being small and portable to fit into any space, but with the cons of using electricity to get the water to our plant. So our group found ways of bringing our system to others in our school community. One way we thought of was teaching, and this is a school. So what we would do is that we would teach our fellow peers about how to take care of their own system. And after they had learned, they'd be able to pass it down from generation to generation, and the others would learn. And we were also asked to find a long-term problem in our community and then connect our system to its solution. We came up with the problem of burning fossil fuels. Did you know that 90% of our fossil fuels are being burned right now? And they're finite, meaning we could never get them back. So our solution was, instead of burning gas to go to the grocery store to go get your fruits and vegetables, you could just go to the windowsill and pick your own fresh fruits waiting for you, and no long lines you have to wait on. So, with multiple vine crop systems around the world, we'd be able to control our usage on water and our wasting of fossil fuels. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ezekiel Walsh. Here in Manhattan School for Children, I've been learning about hydroponics. And I took the hydroponic games class, and my group and I built a VIG, standing for Vertically Integrated Growing. We use basic household materials to build our system, such as a broomstick to hold the system up, water bottles to keep the plants in, and tape to hold the water bottles on. We also had to buy some outside of the house materials, such as a pump to move the water around so that the water circulates. Even though there's no soil, the plants will grow, and actually it can be even better than soil because you control the exact amount of nutrients in the plants. Because you control the same ratio of the plants, it means you can figure out the best way for the plants to grow without soil. I would love to have greenhouse technology in my apartment. I've actually thought of a way. As you see up there, I have created a system that uses the VIG, but you could attach it to your windows and use it like curtains. One is open and one is closed. When it's open, it still lets the light in, but you still have the plants to grow. I think that I would love to have greenhouse technology in my apartment, and I think this would be one of the best ways. Plants give us a cool effect when you have a lot of them against a window. And if your plants create that nice effect, then like a cool effect like an air conditioning, then you may have to use your air conditioning less, saving electricity. It even helps the environment in even more ways. And it also helps you by the amount of food when you eat the food, if you're using vegetables or herbs or even other things you can grow, then you choose the way that you want the plants to taste and grow. You grow them yourself. Also, a lot of people have to take some mode of transportation that is bad for the environment, like buses and cars. But instead, you could have your whole herb garden right at your window, which I think would be great. Thank you, everybody.